Hi, it's Ewan Ellery here making bonsai in Australia, and in this video I'm going to turn this Cork Bark Chinese Elm into bonsai. So this is actually the second of these trees that I've done some work on, so I'll share a video above where you can check out where I did the first steps in turning another one into bonsai. Didn't actually put it into a bonsai pot at this stage, just kind of pruned it back and to develop. And in that video I also pruned back a normal Chinese elm that I turned into a bonsai some time ago. So yeah, check those out, and if you are into this kind of content, then subscribe to the channel so you're notified with my future content as I release it. But look, I'll jump into this now. So first up, just going to take it out of its pot, rake back some of the surface soil just to see what kind of what's hidden underneath. A lot of times it might be significantly thicker, better tapered trunk underneath, or really good barry, luck of the draw really, so we'll find out. And try not to get any of all of that in my coffee. Okay, so I'm just going to start pruning this back, just raking back the soil, sorry, not pruning, just to see what we're working with. Okay, so there's already some of these roots here that are quite a lot higher up than the general kind of root plane. So it looks like there might be a root plane about here, a lot of roots coming out at the same spot, and then there's one up here which is just a lot higher up than that. So before I go too far into this, and just to make it a bit easier with pruning back the or raking back the soil, just get rid of this. And yeah, that'll be a future tree of its own. Just clean back that cut a bit. And all I'm doing now is just pruning back a lot of these really small roots that are kind of coming out in that location, or too high up the trunk. So a lot of roots just kind of randomly rocking down below there, and I'm not going to be using all of those, so I'm just going to cut a lot of this back. And then there's this really large kind of wraparound root that's coming out there as well, so cut that one off too. And then I'm just going to rinse this off, just have a look and see what it all looks like underneath. Okay, so yeah, quite a bit of a mess really. The roots here, I've got this one here which kind of comes over, kind of wraps around the trunk there, crosses over it rather than out radially, so oops, got some dirt in my secateurs, that's always fun. Right, so cut that one off. So this radial one isn't bad. Then at the same time, It's kind of coming out radially. There really aren't any other roots the same size. We'll see. This one here, another big one, so just prune that back. A few other roots coming off that aren't too bad. And it does kind of wrap over the, yeah, it sticks out in a weird spot again, but I might just keep it for those feeder roots for now. And then just another taproot that kind of stuck out the bottom there. Yeah, just really want that root plane to be a lot shallower. So get rid of that, and then yeah, so you can see another big taproot there. Get rid of that. Alright, so now I'm left with a lot of these, just these smaller feeder roots down below, which is fine. And again with this one, there's it's another taproot, and it just kind of comes out again at an angle. So cut this back. Alright. So should be enough there for the tree to survive. I will just see if I can get rid of some of this rotten guck there, so I'll just use a bit of a brush and have a go at that. Okay, and we'll just clean up some of these smaller roots that are kind of cut off earlier. And it seems the that rotten material is probably the corky bark on the tree when it had been put in, buried in soil a bit too deep. So yeah, I don't think there's any real problem there. Okay, so I'm going to put it in this pot here. So yeah, given the how much pruning I've done, this will fit quite well. So I'll put in just I'm just going to reuse this soil. It's nice and well drained, and a good kind of organic mix, so it'll do fine for this kind of tree. So you need to cut these a bit shorter, just to fit inside the pot. And I'll use this as the front, just because the trunk of the tree kind of starts coming towards you a little bit, and then kind of moves backwards. Swing it around and show you in a second. Okay. So now I've got it pruned back, the root is pruned. Just going to work out what I'm going to do with the forest up above. Right, so just below the leader there's another, I don't know if it's the leader per se, but it's what I'll have as the leader. There's another one that's trying to make its way to the top. So just get rid of that and tidy it up a little. Okay, and this branch that's coming out on the side, I'm kind of happy with yeah, I like the placement where it's coming out of the trunk and the angle, but then it kind of does lift up a little bit too much, so I can get rid of it there. I do want it kind of coming out that way to place it, but I'll use this as more of a padding, and that'll give it a bit more of a sweep and a bit more of a movement, going out in that direction and coming out here. And I'll leave these other little branches on there for now. Maybe just prune this back just to get a bit of ramification on that. And kind of struggling to find out which element has the front from now. Whether it's going to be that side there or this side there. So either way, there's a branch here. Kind of comes out. It's a little bit too. This branch that comes out from the trunk, and this is kind of coming off it, and it's not needed either. The other is the front, so. And if this were the front, it actually gets in the way, so get rid of that. So got a branch that comes out on the side here, and this is nice and flat, but then there's this big part of the branch that just wants to stick up, so get rid of that whole section. And then prune it back there, and yeah, just developing this pad. And from that same branch, this is just coming out in front of your view of the trunk. This is kind of doing the same, but I don't mind it if there's a bit of a branch coming out that way, so just prune it back. And then there's a branch at the back here. It's kind of coming out, which either of those ways that I was just tossing between being the front, it's just not needed, kind of gets in the way. And it's right underneath another one which is coming out at a better kind of angle, just a bit above. So, and similar to the one that's just below it. So, free up a bit of space, and just another little small one at the top that's kind of sticking straight up, right above another one that's kind of sticking up parallel. So. Horizontally, so yeah, figure out which of those I want. Just clean this up a bit. So there's a little branch that comes in towards the trunk a little, and it kind of comes out. Now with that as the front, really doesn't really get in the way per se, but I'll prune off one of those, leave the one that's going out further that way, and then this one here that kind of comes up a little bit straighter. There's two coming out of the same spot. I think I'll keep one of them. But yeah, that one kind of got in the way of the seeing the leader. And just prune this back a bit again, just for ramification. And just off the side of the leader, there's this big part that's kind of coming out. Kind of, yeah, just kind of distracts from the view there as well. And then just get a bit more, just prune back these little pads. Okay, so I'll leave it as that for now. Yeah, just develop a little bit more padding. I kept being quite undecided on which would be the front. So yeah, I kept a lot of branch options for future, just in case I do change it. For now, just given you know, the fullness of the branches and where they are, that there is looking a lot better, even though the trunk does kind of come a bit too far away from the viewer. So here's my new Cork Bark Chinese Elm Bonsai. So look, I hope you've enjoyed this video or taken something from it. If you have, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to be notified of future videos as I release them. So look, thanks for your time today. Enjoy. Bye.